Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this week's episode of Tea and Tops. It's Monday. It's a little bit after 9 o'clock, but we're here. We're back on Mondays after a couple of Tuesdays. We're finding this routine, get back in the proper routine. And here we are. We're live as always, twitch.tv/Tea and Tops. We're live on the Tea and Tops Facebook page. We will be live on the Shutout Cards Facebook page shortly, just when I share it. And yeah, wherever you're watching tonight, you're very welcome along. My name is Graham. With me, as always, is Jason. Jason, how are we doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing fine. Unfortunately, the whole family has COVID, so I live in the man cave for the moment. So it's a little interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of mad. I can't believe you're actually sleeping in there. That's unbelievable.
Well,
So yeah, Jason.
I don't spend the nights there. I go and sleep on the couch in there, but they basically have taken over the flat. So it's interesting to say the least. So, but yeah, we're making do. So can't complain.
Yeah, awesome. That's really good. Yeah, you're running about a week behind me. Both my kids had it last week, and they're no symptoms though, fortunately, but they're on their way out of it at the minute. So yeah, life is gradually returning to normal. But wherever you are, I hope you're keeping well and keeping safe. And yeah, welcome to this week's episode. So last week we touched on any number of shysters within the community. And well, maybe not shyster, maybe that's being a little bit unfair to this week's main topic, which is the demise of a card dealer in America called Mark's Cards. Jason, I think you may have read a little bit more about this than me. Is that right?
Yes, I think it came up in there that a lot of people had submitted cards with PSA to them, and it had been a year later, and they still hadn't gotten the cards, and they proceeded to go bankrupt, if I understand everything correctly. PSA had to go out and submit announcement saying that that the people who had not been paid, or I think Mark's Cards hadn't paid for it yet, we're going to be returning everyone's cards ungraded, and they were more than welcome to submit it with PSA again.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They were. I like their statement. So I did catch their statement where it's like, oh yeah, like further to Mark's Cards going down. They haven't paid us, so we're going to have to return your cards, but you need to pay the postage. So yeah, we'll be in touch, and you're going to pay us some postage, and we'll ship them back to you. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
thanks for your charity there, PSA.
Yes, and apparently, like Mark's Cards have known about this for 2 months. It just actually finally came out now. Apparently, there's things in the works there. I've been trying to find some information about it. They went on another podcast and said, no, we're working on it out. It's all be worked out, and it's fine. But it's still pretty bad. You may have waited up to a year or longer for your card, only to tell you, yeah, sorry about that. We're going to let you send that back at your own cost, and you're happy to resubmit it again.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild. So the announcement from Mark's Cards was, we are saddened to announce that Mark's Cards Incorporated is no longer able to conduct business as usual. We're working with PSA over the next 7 days to return customer submissions. Please be assured we're working with PSA to return your property. We thank you for your past business and wish you the best. Yeah, colloquially, and just from like a very scatterbrained search of Twitter, yeah, this may have like a bigger knock-on effect than maybe some people are taking in here. So there's another company that are called Gems Only, which is like, again, somebody who's running a group submission service. So they would take group submissions from their customers, but rather than them submitting direct, they were then submitting them to Mark's Cards. So acting as like an intermediary for an intermediary. And yeah, again on Twitter, there's a lovely snapshot of somebody who's left a 1-star review for the Gems Only business, saying that they had paid Gems Only $2,500 for grading with PSA for cards. The value of the cards exceeds $10,000 at the bare minimum, but they didn't submit them direct. They sent them to Mark's Cards, and now because Mark's Cards haven't paid, he's screwed. So he's out his cards and he's out his $2,500. So
wow.
Yeah, so it gets wild. Like I say, Twitter. This is kind of funny. Just sitting reading this stuff on Twitter just now.
I mean, how much could the gem cards be making to then submit to Mark's Cards to submit to PSA? I mean, the skim can't be more than $1 or $2. I mean, you'd have to submit a ton.
Yeah, well, I mean, the great thing about the way PSA, I mean, getting cards into PSA in the last sort of 8 months, as we know, has been really difficult because they closed down their normal submission pass, and I think the cheapest you could submit cards for over the last 8 months was like $100. But remember, they grade based on final value. So if this guy's saying he's got $10,000 worth of cards that he's paid $2.5 to get graded, that could be 3 cards for all we know, right? And it's just big dollar cards. And yeah, like I say, the PSA grading price is a sliding scale based on the value of the card. Now, some people would probably quite rightly argue that if you've got that value of cards and you're willing to pay a third party $2.5 to get stuff to PSA, well, here's an idea: send it to PSA yourself, you lazy goat. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why you would risk that value of cards going through a third party. No, like, no matter how much you trust them or how much business you've done with them in the past, that seems, I mean, that's taking a leap of faith, isn't it?
Absolutely, I agree with you on this 100%. I mean, if I had cards valued at $10,000, well, close to it, I would absolutely be submitting it directly with them and making sure everything was a-okay there. Now, if I understand, Marks did give kind of pre-grades on cards before they sent them on through, but again, isn't that the same thing with PSA where you can say, well, don't grade this if it was not an 8 or better? So I don't really see the point of them other than you save a few bucks. And yeah, I understand that we're kind of in the end of the junk era of PSA graded cards, but
yeah, the junk slab era, right?
Yeah, the junk slab era. So, I guess we've talked about grading cards, from our personal collection, and I think our biggest problem is we're in the UK. Getting to the US is obviously a pain in the ass. I don't even know if they charge us more for international or not, but I'm gonna wait till I go home next summer and then send them maybe to my brother. I haven't decided if I trust him enough to send them on there, considering it's taken him over a year to send my last shipment over. So, but yeah, same idea. We'll figure something out there. But yeah, I absolutely be sending direct to PSA.
Yeah. Doing stuff doing this kind of thing. Like, there are guys in the UK who do group submissions to graders in the States. I've looked at it. I mean, there is a demand for it. Like, there's not barely a week goes past we don't see in some of the more generic UK card groups people asking them for recommendations on where to get cards graded. So there is a demand for people to send to PSA and to send to Beckett and stuff like that. But from the investigation I've done starting up, it's a pain in the ass. And like you say, with the dollar return, I think, for the time invested, it doesn't quite make sense. For me anyway, it doesn't quite make sense to add it as an extra, as like an add-on kind of service. Like the time you have to invest, the stress of having 100 cards from people who aren't you, and you're responsible for managing it and sending it all to PSA, and you've got international postage there, international postage back, insurance, all that kind of stuff. Like, for the guys who do it, like, nothing but respect. Good on them. And if I have cards suitable for grading, which DJ LeMahieu comments aren't really worth grading, then I'd be happy. Like, there's one or two that I'd be happy to use. But yeah, I don't think it's not a service that I want to start up from here. That's for sure. On the subject of cleaning and offering pre-grades and stuff, that's a service that a lot of experienced, I'll put it in air quotes, submitters will offer. I mean, it's as arbitrary as the person at PSA who picks up your card and decides if it's a 9 or a 10. People will offer to prep your cards before they send them in, which can be useful, I suppose, especially if you're submitting like Chrome cards and stuff like that, where try to get a good grade on surface can be really hard. So they will use, I guess, non-abrasive cleaning techniques to make sure your card is as pristine as possible before it makes its way to PSA. So I can see there's probably a little bit of value to be offered in that service. But yeah, when you're dealing in 10 grand's worth of cards, yeah, I'm making the effort to do that myself, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we get charged the VAT on the return of that? Because all of a sudden you send out a car worth, say, $100, and then it gets graded at a PSA 10. Now it's worth $1,000. Do we get charged an import tax on that thing or not? Or is it one of these wink wink? Yeah, it's a $2 card. Don't worry about it.
If it's coming out right, so the last time I looked into this, and this may have changed now, PSA can't or won't send international, so you have to use a US intermediary for coming home.
Right.
Now that may have changed, but because I've not looked at it for a while. That's certainly the case with PSA, which is why you don't actually see too many people offering PSA graded services out of the UK. You do see it for HGA and you do see it for Beckett, so they may well send international, but PSA, the last time I checked, didn't send international.
Well, there you go. That explains that.
Yeah.
So, and I absolutely agree with you, Glenn, that there probably is space for a UK based grading service out there. I'm actually surprised they haven't done it yet, considering how much cards out here for soccer.
Yeah. For the sake of the podcast, I'll read the question. So Glenn's saying that I have several cards that I'd love to grade, but can't be arsed with the hassle of going back and forth to the States. A UK-based grading service would be great, but would it be accepted by the hobby? So yeah, you're right. I think we've covered this before, but it depends. It sort of depends what you're in it for. If you just want to protect the cards and keep them safe, then by all means use any one of the. I can think of 3 off the top of my head, like UK-based grading services, and they'll give it an arbitrary grade. And they'll put it in a holder. So if nothing else, it'll protect it. But will it add any value? Probably not. When one of them, I think it's Majestic Grading, they like to bang on Instagram a lot about, a raw card might be worth £4.50 and their graded version sold for £14.50. So, all right, okay. But if you put that in a PSA case, it would have sold for £55.50. It's like, it swings and roundabouts a little bit. But yeah, I think the first one that'll come to Europe, I won't just say the UK, but I think CGC will be the first one to offer baseball card grading straight out of the UK. They already do it for Pokemon, which is a fairly new, or if it's not open yet, it's certainly coming very soon. They're the ones I think will be first in the UK to do it. The best place to go to PSA from the UK is the company Ludkins. That's Ludkins, if anyone's interested. So again, they specialize in Pokemon cards and the grading of Pokemon cards. But they will take sports cards as well, because I know people who have done it before.
So yeah, so there are options here, but yeah, I think. But then, if you open a shop here, do you open UK or do you open it in Europe? I mean, if it was mine, I would actually be opened up in Europe, because there's a larger market out there, and you don't have to deal with everyone paying import fees now because of Brexit. We won't even go to that conversation
Brexit.
There. Yeah, exactly. But how much more? I mean, I guess no matter which direction you're sending it from Europe or from North America, you're going to hit with the import fees regardless. I guess maybe turnaround times would be slower if it was on Europe, because it'd be less business to start with.
Quite possibly, yes. So CGC, let me get this right. CSG, which is the sports arm of CGC. So CGC themselves are based in London. They already have offices in London, and that's where they were scaling up their operations. So they grade coins out of there already, and notes and comics and stuff. And so you can submit all of those to London. So it's not going to be Europe. Now, you're right. It probably should be Europe, because as we know, there's fairly big card collecting communities in Germany for sure. I can't think of two. I can't
Greece,
think of another
Greece
country.
has the actual physical brick and mortar shop.
Greece is a bricks and mortar shop. That's right. So yeah,
France
we know
is
that
huge with basketball. There's a ton of basketball collectors in France.
That shows all I know about basketball. Well, Germany is predominantly NFL, right? Because of they obviously have fairly big ties back to the States, with the States having a big military presence in Germany, and of course the NBA. European NFL, whose name escapes me. They had like 4 teams in it.
Yeah.
I think Rain Fire.
Right, there we go. Rainfire. Yeah, that was my best guess. But yeah, obviously you've got NBA with Dirk Nowitzki, so you've had that already there. And of course,
that's a good point.
And
the Greek Freak.
Yep, absolutely. And then in Spain, I'm sure it's probably fairly big. Our Spanish is no bueno, so we probably don't know many. They're out there.
When we were in Barcelona, we were ordering café con leche like it was the most natural thing in the world. Come on now.
Dos cervezas, por favor. There we go. We were sorted.
That's all you need. And a ham on bocadillo, as my wife would ask for as well, a ham sandwich. Well, we're off topic again.
Yes.
So there we go. That's what I reckon. If we're going to get any one of the accredited ones, I think we'll get CSG. However, you can never rule out Fanatics. So right, everything circles back to Fanatics, it feels like at the moment. So Fanatics have a tie-in with PSA. They're, I think, invested in each other, but Fanatics certainly hold a reasonable investment in the parent company of PSA, and I can't remember what that's called now, but I can look it up while we're speaking. So who knows what they're going to do? They've made this big noise, but want to be a one-stop shop for everything in the hobby. So direct-to-consumer boxes we can expect. We know that they're working on a marketplace thing, possibly in conjunction with StockX, because heavily invested in StockX. We know that they're wanting to do grading. They already offer Fanatics authenticated merchandise and Fanatics authenticated autograph memorabilia. So we can expect them to play in that space as well. We know that they're invested in PSA. So who knows? Maybe Fanatics will just be like, "Yep, send us your cards. We'll send them to Manchester. That's where they are," and then we'll do it from there. But yeah, we can't rule them out in this conversation either.
No, absolutely. I was thinking that would be the next big player. Would Fanatics would be all right? We're going to change the game there, but you know, with their customer service, I'm not sure I'd go with Fanatics. They'd have to offer me something special to actually think about. All right, am I actually going to send my card to Fanatics and not get lost in the supply chain?
Yeah, Collectors Universe is the company that owns PSA. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so Fanatics are certainly invested in them, but then they don't have any infrastructure outside of the US, whereas CSG already do, which is why I'd still hazard that CSG might be the one that opens up sports cards in Europe first. Like I say, it's just handy it's in London, then we don't need to pay the Brexit fees. Everyone else will need to pay the Brexit fees.
But I guess it would be still cheaper to ship from Europe than the US for them. So it could work if you want it to work. So
it could work, yeah. Again, Glenn with a great point. It'd be interesting to see how much time and effort Fanatics put into the international market. It could be a good thing. You're right. It could be a good thing. So what we've seen with Fanatics in the merchandise space, which is obviously where they're known at the moment, is they snapped up a couple of UK places. So Kitbag, who used to be the official online store for the Premier League, Fanatics hoovered them up, so now they get to distribute all the Premier League jerseys. I shouldn't call them jerseys because I'm British. Like your Premier League shirts, which incredibly, I found out the other day, like a brand new Man United top will set you back £100. That's wild.
I can go on and on about people complaining about prices of jerseys here, but
of course,
I'll zip it. Yes,
yeah,
but that's the other podcast there. So
that's another podcast.
But yes, yeah, exactly. And you know, you go out every year and you buy your yearly top. All right, there's my new top for the year. So
yeah. So that's wild. So Fanatics I think are definitely paying more attention to the international market. Even ordering from Fanatics International, whatever it's called, or the MLB Europe shop, which we know is run by Fanatics, even that service has got better. I'm not going to say it's great because plenty of people still have plenty of complaints about it. Personally, I've never had an issue with anything I've ordered from the MLB Europe store, which, to be fair, isn't much, because generally you can find it cheaper. You know, you and I obviously importing a lot from the States. We can find it cheaper in the States and then just ship it over with one of our regular shipments. But occasionally they do have pretty good deals. And yeah, even that service has become better. So yeah, I think Fanatics will take the international market quite seriously. They would be foolish not to. They've already mentioned that they want to make a big imprint in China, which would make perfect sense. It's got the largest population in the world. They obviously have, I mean, NBA is pretty big in China. Is that right? I'm pretty safe in saying that. There's still the Yao Ming effect.
There was that guy, Yao Ming. He was okay for a while.
Yeah, some guy. Yeah, listen, if I've heard of him, he must have been pretty decent.
No, it's
there's still the Yao Ming effect. Yeah, sorry, go on.
and then I said they still get guys and kind of think of it as European guys going to the U.S. to collect that final paycheck. Where you're in the later part of your career, they'll pay you a lot of money to go show up and play for a while. That's where guys are going these days, is heading over to China.
Heading over to China. Well, there we go. So yeah, I definitely think they will. I saw Ricky's comment there. It'd be interesting to see if Fanatics open a brick and mortar shop in London. That's maybe not a bad shout. Like I say, every year they do have the NFL games in London now at Wembley and at the Tottenham Stadium as well. There's an NFL shop kind of pops up in nearly called it White Hart Lane. The Spurs fans would have got very upset with me. The Tottenham Stadium, it does get an NFL shop around about the time when the games are on, but I believe it's a Nike shop. It's not. Who makes NFL unis these days? Is it Nike as well?
I honestly don't know. I think it is Nike. I think because they bought it from Reebok.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up as we speak.
So, what do you think? They just buy someone like Sports Direct, and then they can just put all their crap in a Sports Direct shop? I mean, that makes even more sense.
It is Nike. I was right. Oh, that's interesting. They could do something like that because that would give them a pretty big retail footprint in the country as well.
Exactly. They can just go, right, here we go. We're buying Sports Direct. We don't have to worry about trying to set a brick and mortar shop. They're already in there, or they get some sort of license deal with them to go, right, we want you to carry this stuff around, because you can pick up a Yankees hat anywhere, but it'd be nice to say pick up a Mariners hat or a Brewers hat or something like that there, because we all like options here now. It might not be the best options, but at least you can go into a store and actually pick up something. So
yeah, says you sitting there in a Cubs hat
and jersey, my Cubs jersey.
Of course, you're coordinated. I would expect nothing less.
Exactly, but you know what I mean. Like you said, you go into any place here, you get Yankees, you get Dodgers, possibly Mets, definitely get Cubs, definitely get Blue Jays can be hard to find, but no one's rocking Twin stuff.
No one's rocking Twin stuff. No, the first bit of baseball merchandise I ever owned was a Twins T-shirt. There you go. There's a fun fact for you.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I got it from like Urban Outfitters or something, like somewhere avant-garde. I can't remember, but
yeah, they had a good supply of stuff there for a while. I remember buying stuff at Urban Outfitters.
Twins T-shirt. Yeah,
it was the only place in, and again had to go to Foot Locker when I joined the baseball club to get a hat. And it was either a Yankees hat or a Astros hat. Luckily, it was an old school Astros hat. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what Fanatics do in the retail space. I would say a flagship store somewhere in London around about the time of the London games. That wouldn't surprise me if it happened. I hadn't considered it up until this point, if I'm honest. What they would carry in it, I'm not really too sure. They probably would just carry NFL related merchandise. I mean, if baseball ever comes back to London, which we hope it will, and there was rumors for a while it might be back on again. Then yeah, I think that would do well for them.
Yeah, I think it would too. If you had a one-off stop that kind of carried everything, you can go see it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have a bricks and mortar shop in the States, as far as I'm aware, anywhere. Like not even a flagship. So, but yeah, it would be a good move. Or like I say, they'll just do what they're doing and they'll just buy somebody up. Whether it be like GD Sports or. GD Sports would seem like the most sensible fit because it's kind of a fashion sport brand, and
there we go. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, like something like that, rather than like Sports Direct or something, because they do equipment as well as. I don't know. Listen, if they open a shop somewhere in the UK where I can go and get a Yankees garden gnome, dude, I'll be over the moon. I'm there.
We're gonna spend the rest of the day looking for a garden gnome on a gardener garden gnome, right? Is that the one you want? The garden one.
The gardener one, yeah. That would make good sense. Yeah. Well, there we go. There was a conversation that started about a company going bust in the US, and we've meandered it right through to Fanatics opening a store in the UK. So isn't it funny where these conversations can lead you?
See, you heard it from us first. So when it happens, we talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you heard it from Ricky first. I think it's a pretty great shout, actually. Yeah, I think a Fanatics flagship store in London, maybe even just as a pop-up for the NFL games, the international series. That's probably a pretty good shout, actually. I'd like to see it. That'd be kind of cool. It would almost be worth making the trip.
You know what? Before we change the subject here, and I'll give you my last word on this. So they might pull what Starbucks did, where they opened up a bunch of Seattle coffee chains to see how it would do. And when they did well, Starbucks swooped in and bought them, and then just changed the branding on it. So, oh yeah, we're Starbucks now. So had it failed, it would have been, oh, this is this random Seattle coffee chain, and it failed. No one knows about it. But since they did well, Starbucks would swoop in. So, hey, never know. Fanatics could do the same thing.
Yeah, they certainly could. It'll be interesting. There's going to be a lot of. We're going to find ourselves talking about Fanatics a lot over the next couple of years, I think, just because they're making such big waves in the space, and like I say, the ripple effects are going to be felt here. And at the very least, if they can speed up international distribution, like you order from Fanatics in the US, order cards from Fanatics in the US, and it's at your door like 3 days later, then that's even that's going to be pretty great. Or even if they stock Topps UK properly, so when it drops in the States, it drops here, and you get it like 2 days later if you order it direct and stuff. That's going to be pretty big. I mean, it's bad news for me. Sucks for me.
Technically, that's what you do now. Even if you order through Topps UK or Fanatics UK, the order still goes to Fanatics US.
It still goes to the States, yeah.
Yeah,
you still get it. You still get it in like 3 days. It's amazing, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of scary. Yeah, let's see what happens, right?
Cool. All right. Well, we'll find out. Enough about that.
Enough about Fanatics. Yeah, I took a moment there to consider just how screwed I was.
Everything's on sale as soon as the show's over.
Yeah, there we go. Damn right. Anyway, yeah. So let's move from the sad tale of a company going bust and leaving lots of people hanging on their cards to the heartwarming tale of a man suing his mother.
Yes. Somebody had posted this in our Topps group about he had bought a card for his mom, and his mom was supposed to give it back. It's been 10 years, and she refuses to give it back. It's a Bob Gibson card, if I understand correctly.
I believe that's right, yeah.
I'm pulling the story up now. But yes, he's suing his mom over the fact that, yep. Sorry, it's not. It's a 1953 Pioneer, 1953 Topps. He estimates it's over $25,000, assuming his mom hasn't damaged them. So apparently it was bought as a gift in the mid 80s, and she refused to hand him over despite repeated requests, claims the court order. So the cards apparently are rare and irreplaceable, and the mom's just a bit confused on why she's being sued by her son over baseball cards.
I mean, what kind of guy have you got to be where you're suing your own mother for an assumed loss on a baseball card? I mean, golly. I mean, I'm on the New York Post at the moment. There's a picture of the guy, and he looks like a stand-up chap. What can I say? I mean, so the guy's 55-year-old. It's not like he's like some knobhead in his 20s who's like just trying to be a fanny. The guy's a grown adult, 55 years. His mum is 82 years old. You suing your 82-year-old mother for an assumed loss on a baseball card. It's like, flipping heck, really? Like, I'm wondering if this will actually gain any traction. This is going to be the interesting thing, right? We can sit here, and despite the fact I've got a backdrop of New York behind me, I don't actually live in a Manhattan penthouse, which is what I'm trying to show with the background on my Zoom call here. But I'm not actually in New York with a view of the Freedom Tower. So yeah, we all laugh about the litigation culture in the States, right? But this is kind of mad.
All right, we'll want to put your comment up, Blaine. Come on now. I mean, I guess the same thing. I have that shirt that said I was a millionaire. I was a millionaire until my mom threw my cards out there. It's the same idea in there. Like, there's obviously something going on with the family there. He says he's like a backgammon player, a professional backgammon player. So
he's a top
maybe
backgammon player.
He lost some money on backgammon in Vegas, and he needs to come up with $25,000 to pay the mob off before he loses a finger. Who knows? So, to be honest, I think he's probably suing his mom because his mom misplaced it somewhere in the house and she doesn't know where it is. And it's just kind of going.
Very
why else do you do that? Because you could go visit your mom. Go, all right, mom, go to sleep now. And then goes rifle through the whole house and find the damn card. She probably wouldn't even know it's gone. It's not like it's in the front doorway or it's the centerpiece of the living room, you know?
Yeah, it's probably in the bottom of the birdcage or something, right?
Or as Glenn said, the bike spokes, you know, maybe mom
The
was
bike
cruising around New
spokes.
York.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Says, like countless other kid collectors, Trencher kept baseball cards at his mum's house for years. But unlike many, quote, he came and got them all, she said. So he must be claiming those aren't in the collection and that she still has them. And she's saying, well, I don't have them.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what it is there. I mean, who knows? Maybe he made a bad trade back in the day, and there's, oh yeah, my mom threw the cards out, you know. And
Yeah.
again, we don't even
seems
know
there's
the real
other
worth
issues.
of it because he said it could be worth 30,000 if it's graded.
It could
He
be,
still
yeah.
has to get it graded.
So if the cards are in gem mint condition, they could be worth up to $30,000, according to Chris Ivey, director of sports for Heritage Auctions. Of nearly 3,300 top Satchel Paige cards from 1953 graded for auction, only 8 have been found to have that level of quality, though. So could be worth 30 grand, or it could be worth $3. We just don't know. But yeah, that's great. What a heartwarming tale on this Monday night. Of goodwill to all men, and I'm going to sue my mum for some baseball cards.
I mean, the sad thing is his mom's 83. She doesn't have long to live. You're gonna get
I
the
know,
cards at some
dude,
point,
it's like,
unless he's got like a brother or other family members that already have a claim on it. Maybe they went through the will and he noticed that his Satchel Paige card and Ralph Kiner card wasn't on the will or was going to somebody else. Who knows?
Oh wow, it actually gets a bit kind of so. The mum said that she hasn't spoken to her son or his family in a couple of years after a falling out she refused to give details of. They banned me from the family a while back. They won't let me see my grandchildren, won't let me see anybody there, she said. I guess he's decided this is the way to get the money for himself, said Ivanek, who's the mum, who said she's already written the Kinnear and Page cards into her will as a bequest for Trenter, that's the sons, children. So she's basically left them to the grandkids. So she has got them then, if she's written them in her will.
Yep. She handed over the cards, pulled those ones out, and said, all right, we're just going to give it to the kids now. So,
golly. Well, that's a terribly sad tale.
Yeah. What are you going to do? So, how much did he pay for that card 40 years ago? I probably didn't spend that much on it.
Here's a story we missed, right? Let's go. So again, New York Post, and I'm not on my regular computer, so I don't have an ad blocker on this computer. So you get all like the spam adverts at the bottom of the page and stuff. You know how it is when you go on a news website these days. There was a story back in September where A-Rod was supposedly going to buy Panini.
Yeah, there was talk about that, and it never came through.
Yeah, golly.
That's probably why we never talked about it, because it never went through.
I'd never even heard that as a rumor. We could have done a full hour on this. That would have been
at the same time, he was getting kicked out of bed by J-Lo, so I think that kind of just fell apart then.
He's landed on his feet, shall we say, with his latest lady friend.
Did she make him prance like a horse?
Oh yeah, I wonder if he still has that picture above his bed.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Man, that's funny. I didn't know he had a company called Slam Corporation. What do they do? Right, I'm way down an A-Rod rabbit hole here.
You've gone into the A-Rod hole. So
yeah. Come on now. Yeah. Okay. Let's move along. We've gone from a guy suing his mum to A-Rod, and I don't know which one of those two is worse. Oh dear. Right, we'll leave that one well alone. Okay, back to our regular schedule programming then, and let's have a little bit of Project 70 action.
So Project 70 is full steam ahead. They've missed the Monday. They failed to tell everyone that we're not dropping cards on the Monday because it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So of course everyone was like, "Where's my cards?" And today they have dropped 6 cards today, and you can buy all 6 cards at a sum of $90. So if you're collecting the set, it's a good deal. You're buying cards fairly cheap on this, but it's quite a mixed bag of cards. There's a wrapper card. There's Sket 1. It's it's probably not for the people that are collecting at this point in time something everyone's go, I need these 6 cards. So you can't even break it up to say buy 2 for 35, which they did quite often. And so I think you're going to see print runs drop pretty dramatically this last couple weeks now. I think there's like 2 weeks left. There's 12 more days till it's like actually over.
So it's
So
over.
It's almost over. So yeah, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this. If they're going to continue with the 6 cards, if they're going to drop like 10 on us one day. I mean, it's entirely possible. Why not? I mean, because besides the people that are collecting the set, who's gonna, why not drop 10 cards? They're
Yeah, why not?
$20
Yeah.
each, regardless. You can sell them at 10 for 150. You're probably only getting a handful of people that will actually buy a 10-pack. So, an informal poll on Twitter, there was 2 people that said they were going to buy it, and I know them both, and they're collecting the whole set. So, for them, it's a bargain.
Holy. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one friend. There was one guy I talked to. He's doing 2 full Project 70 sets.
2 full sets.
2 full sets.
Yep. Jeez, that is commitment.
Yeah, I don't even want it. Well, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And so I had the conversation with him quite a bit. And anytime he hits a 1-on-1 or any foil cards, they go to eBay, and it just pays off some of the cards he's buying. So, but yeah, he's got 2 full sets in the run. Yeah, he doesn't keep any of those. He's like, I have no interest in that. I just want 2 full sets, and then we'll see what happens if I decide to break it up as artist sets or player sets or whatever there, and he'll have all those lovely posters that everyone's trying to collect, and then take it from there.
Oh yeah. Well, if he's wanting to be his Bronson poster, he can just give me a shout.
I'm sure you'll have no problem getting a Bronson poster there.
Yeah, you can slide in his DMs for me.
All right, I'll ask him if he's willing to
Give me
give
that Bronson.
one of those up there. But yeah, so and funny enough, you're seeing a lot of Bronson's cards pop up autographed now. Don Manley Charities bought quite a few. They were selling. They sold out.
Oh, interesting.
Fairly quickly. Yeah. So because most of the people were, if not all of them, were modern players, you're seeing a lot of people get those cards autographed.
Yeah, funny. The one that I missed that I ended up buying off of eBay. I actually bought it from the Don Mattingly charity. Just because it was a cool way to buy the card and give a little charitable donation as well. It wasn't a signed one or anything; it was just a base one. But yeah, that's where I ended up buying it from off of eBay.
Yep. Yeah, there's a few signed there. He put up some cards recently, and they sold out rather quickly because I guess Manley autos are fairly quick, and yeah, he's a pretty friendly guy to sign. So it's a fairly inexpensive autograph considering I think Mo Rivera doesn't sign for anything under $200.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that seems to be par for the course. Oh, actually, that segues us into something kind of interesting. But I'll maybe circle back to it because I need to remember the main story.
Okay, well then I'll answer Glenn's question. So is Topps half RC in the tail end of Project 70? I think they'll be glad to see the back of it. Absolutely, I think it was a bigger project than they can imagine. We'll probably get about 900 cards when it's all said and done. But I guarantee you we'll see something else similar to this, or at least not. We'll have spin-off from the artist. Like I can absolutely see some sort of Topps X Alex Pardee set. Lauren Taylor's already doing one there, but even as much as everyone moaned about it and as much as it's bombed, they made a ton of money off this. I mean, absolutely.
Oh yeah, the artists. Yeah, I mean, some of the artists have done really well, and Topps have done well out of this as well.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, Pardee has raised his profile within the community and made a ton of money on there. I mean, he's averaging still over like 10,000 cards, per drop, even though no one's buying more than 2,000 at the most. He's still doing over 6,000 of these.
Yeah, I saw his latest one was like just under 6.6, right? 6.59 something. I can't remember the exact number, but
yeah. It's I think it's the third lowest one or something like that, but it was the Ricky Henderson, and it still did quite well. We've got Mookie Betts coming out tomorrow. It's pretty cool. And then he hasn't given us a hint to his last one is there, but yeah. I'm absolutely sure they'll bring back Alex Pardee, whatever they can do to get him back and do some sort of set with him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it would be good. It will be good for some of the artists in the long run, like the big names that we've seen, like the big names that we associate with the project. Like I say, we'll probably will get a Topps Alex Pardee set at some point. Tyson Beck's obviously done really well out of it, but more, I guess, for Project 2020, he's now doing exclusive design sets for Tots, especially on the soccer side of things. Like you
He
say,
does a lot of his
Lauren,
stuff with basketball. He's been doing. He signed
does
up
he
with
really?
Stephen Curry. Yeah, so he had a card released when Stephen Curry broke the record for the most three-point shots in career. And as soon as that shot went in, the cards went live, and they sold out within minutes.
I'm not
So,
surprised. Did it do it? Did it do an NFT release for that as well?
No,
Am I
but
remembering that correctly?
he saw the resale market on his cards. He's like, God damn it, I need to do this in NFTs now, so I can at least get commissions on every time this thing sells over and over again. But it was interesting because like, yep, I sold these cards at a ridiculous price of like I think they're going for like $1,000 or $2,000 per card, and then immediately we're going back on the eBay for $5-6 grand, and people buying them. He's just like, I left money on the table.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, when we did our one of our many deep dives, and well, not really deep dives, but one of our meandering conversations on the subject of NFTs, it was this resale, these perpetual royalties that will carry on forever. That obviously make it a very attractive thing for artists to push, right? Because yeah, they're always going to get that little kickback. It makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like they should be rewarded for their effort, right? It's like getting, music artists get royalties for as long as their songs are played. Do you know what I mean? So why shouldn't artists of a different genre, why shouldn't they be able to capitalize in the same way? Actors get rerun fees. When shows are rerun by different networks and stuff, they continue to get royalties for that as well. So why should traditional artists be any different?
No, I think we're kind of in that phase where it's the wild, wild west right now, and then we'll eventually settle down in a year or two. Again, you can set up NFTs with so many different places right now. Same with crypto. Until somebody kind of takes the lead of it.
Don't talk about crypto. Have you seen what's happened to crypto in the last 2 weeks?
Nope, I have paid no attention to it.
Dude, it's a good job. It's brutal. It's just like 2 weeks ago they were talking about Bitcoin hitting this limit where it won't go any lower than this, and it's just continued to plummet. It is grim if you're holding, I'm only holding about £500 worth of crypto, and it is grim because I'm just watching it evaporate in front of my eyes. Yeah, so if you're one of these people who likes to buy the dip on crypto, now's your time, because it is, every time I get an alert from Coinbase on my phone, I'm scared to look at it to see how much Ethereum has crashed in the last 24 hours. And it's like, oh, Ethereum is down 15% in the last 8 hours. I'm gonna go away and cry now. And I've got very little skin in the game, like having £500 worth or whatever. It's not very much of an investment, but yeah, it's gross. Let's not talk about crypto.
All right, we will talk about crypto. Yes, once I figured out how to pull my money out from all the wax pee, I was good. I was gone.
Yeah, no NFT discussions tonight because it's just grim. It's just grim. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned about Mariano Rivera basically not signing anything for less than $200, which I think we joked about on the show before. So quite a common thing is players will hold autograph signings, and for a small fee, you can send in your card or your item of memorabilia, and that athlete will put their signature on it for you. And prices range anywhere from $25 away up to the moon, basically, if you're wanting a Mike Trout or something crazy.
I think Trout signs for 500 minimum.
Yeah. That's not a number that surprises me. Let's put it that way. So I found out something quite interesting, which I hadn't really considered before, but it's something that's maybe worth a bit of a deep dive. So we've already touched on Giannis this week already. I cannot say his second name. Are you able to force out his second name?
Antetokounmpo.
No, is the answer.
Yes, that's why everyone calls him just Johnny.
That's what. Giannis. Yeah, Giannis, or the Greek Freak, as he's known. So he is currently suing the Leaf trading card company for a card that came out very recently, where they've used his image and they've used the nickname the Greek Freak on the card. Now, he has trademarked the Greek Freak, and he's attempting to sue them for trademark infringement, trademark dilution, violation of his rights of publicity, and more. So there you go. So he is claiming that Leaf have used the Greek freak mark along with his name, image, and likeness without consent. So the card is a brand new. So when this story broke, a lot of people were like, "How can they be complaining? How can he be complaining that they've used it without his approval when the card is a 2021 at the latest? It might even be a 2022 card, and it's autographed." So the thing that makes it interesting is that it's a sticker autograph, and these autographs he signed back in 2013. And at the time, he was paid the princely sum of $20 per autograph, which for an undrafted at that point, it was 2013, for like an undrafted kid, basically, was a hideous amount of money. So in the trading card game, as we know, there's two types of autographs you can get in a card. You can get an on-card autograph, which is obviously the player sits down with a stack of cards and sits and signs them all, or players will quite often sit and sign sheets of stickers, and then the stickers are then applied at a later date to the trading cards. So in some of Topps' more lower-end products like Opening Day and even like Series 1, and we've seen it on some mid-tier stuff like Inception and 5 Star as well, they'll put one of the sticker autographs on rather than have the player sign the card in person. And it didn't really dawned on me that these things could have been signed like basically 10 years ago. Like 2013 is almost 10 years ago, which is frightening as well. It makes me feel really old to say that out loud. But yeah, so it actually leaked that he got paid $20 per autograph at that time. So if you're sitting with like 1,000 stickers to sign, which isn't an unreasonable number, then that's good money for you when you're when you're like still a kid, basically. Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, that I never thought about people about players being reimbursed per autograph. Apparently, the going rate for like a draft pick in baseball, I had heard colloquially, this could be horse feathers, is like $8 an autograph. And there you go.
It could be right. I mean,
back in 2013 getting 20.
Yeah, there you go. Then there's less players.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I guess even at that point, he was, heavily touted and whatever else. But so there you go. A brand new card. How can it be diluting his trademarks? Well, that's how, because the autograph that appears on the card was signed in 2013, and here it is appearing on a 2022 card.
Do you think they just stumbled across some of his autographs and went, "Hey, we have some sticker autos for him. We should just put these on"?
Quite possibly. Like Leaf, I don't really know what their deal is. They release stuff with it's not like Panini where it's airbrush style, and it's not the New York Yankees. It's just New York, and it's like the Yankees colors that are used, but they can't use Yankees. They can't show the team logos on the cards and stuff like that. Leaf cards that I've seen always seem to be proper, like they look proper. So yeah, I mean they've obviously they'll obviously get an athlete to sign 1,000, for example, stickers, and they'll maybe only release like 100 at a time, which is why you can quite often see what would appear to be posthumous releases, in some like museum collections, kind of famous, well, maybe not famous, but infamous for it. Like after a player has left us, unfortunately, then you'll see a sticker autograph card come out for them, and so they've obviously. They won't just get like 1,000 sticker autographs done and then immediately put those 1,000 stickers into products. They'll maybe put half of them out and save half of them for other products in later years. It's quite an interesting part of the business that I hadn't really given any consideration to until I saw this come out.
So it's interesting you do that, because that happened with Toy Tokyo's Stan Musial card, where all of a sudden like there was sticker autos being put on the cards, and I was like, wait, he's been dead for a while. And somebody had gotten hold of 20 or 40 stickers of his autograph and was slapping them on the cards and selling them that way. I was like, okay. Excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny when you see the sticker autographs that Topps put on, you can see in the sticker it's like a kind of holographed sticker that says like Topps authentic autograph or whatever. So they're sort of it's not just like somebody sitting with a pen signing these things. It's like they've tried to at least make it. They offer some. They're prepared to put their weight behind it and say yes, this is an authentic signature. But yeah, that whole side of things I hadn't really considered. It's obviously different when players are signing the physical cards because those cards have to go in that release. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of mad to think as a player, I could sit here and sign 5,000 stickers, and then those stickers might not be used until 15 years from now. It's kind of mad to think of it that way.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely. I
giving
mean,
away that right.
yeah, I guess like I said, but then I guess you think about how many autographs those guys actually sign. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, you see it spring training, and there's just boxes of balls for guys that sit there and autograph. Like,
Yeah,
I'd be curious if we ever got an ex major leaguer on, because I don't want to say Braden Bishop is not a major leaguer, but someone who had spent 10 years there, and just ask them,
yeah,
how many balls do you sign? I mean, I'm in a couple of TTM groups, and you have guys that go, look, I'm done. Like, I'm getting 3,000 requests every 3 or 4 months. Like, that's a lot of autographs,
that is a lot of autographs. Yeah.
So and especially if
Um,
you're like a fringe player. I mean, that's great that people still do it, but you know, you've probably moved on from that part of your life a long time ago, and it's great you have a Topps card out there, but yeah, I can't be just signing autographs.
yeah. And to a certain extent, you can understand why players will try and monetize that then, especially some of the legends of the game. Let's use the Mariano Rivera option again. Like if he didn't put a price on doing that, imagine how many cards he would get in the mail every day. You know what I mean? So charging $200 per autograph is a great way of stopping all that because not everyone's going to want to pay $200 to get him to sign a card. So you're sort of intentionally pricing it out so you're not getting all this crap through the mail. Because I imagine to a certain extent, while it's lovely to have a passionate and enthusiastic fan base and people who appreciate your work and your career and whatever else, I bet it's a pain in the ass at times as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that he's still charging $200 where you can get a Wade Boggs signature for $20. Not going to say that one's better than the other, because that's a pretty hard comparison. They're both Hall of
That's a
Famers.
philosophical debate for another day. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. But at what point does his prices drop? Mario is never really gonna be hard up for money. He made millions in the game. But
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're 70s, do you start going, well, I can drop it to 50 now? Like, at some point or is that going to keep staying that way at that level there? Because you look at
Mm.
pretty much anyone recent, no one signs for over $40.
Yeah.
Obviously people that are retired within the last 10 years, they can still kind of command a premium. But there's quite a few players I'm going, oh yeah, these guys are great in the 80s and 90s. I can go send them a card away for $20 and get it autographed, and that's fantastic.
Okay, it's almost a case of how do you value your time as well. One of the laughs that I guess I've had about this in the past is on Cameo. You know the app Cameo, where
Yes.
you can pay a fee to the athlete of your maybe not all athletes, but if they're on the app, then pay a fee, and they'll do a 30-second video message or whatever for you. And it's kind of interesting to see the prices that people put on there, and you look at when you're again doing the same thing. You're going through the some of the names that are on it, and you think, why the heck? Who are you, and why are you charging like $1,000 where I can get like Daryl Strawberry for like $50 or something? Do you know what I mean? Again, that's a shit
Yeah.
example, but yeah, it's kind of wild. So I guess it's how do you value your time, and how much do you want to? Because again, like I say, if Mariano Rivera didn't put a price on it, and imagine how many he would get through the post all the time.
Oh gosh, it'd be ridiculous. I
It'd be
wonder if it has
insane,
to
right?
do with, I hate to say it, taxes. I wonder if
Well,
because that was the
probably.
big thing. That was the big thing, growing up as a kid in the 80s and the 90s. A lot of these guys at Hall of Famers would, sign for cash, and they just went straight into their pocket. They never had to report it. And that was how they always kind of, got more extra income for the year there. So,
Yeah, but then
whereas
you made a great point already. They don't need that anymore, though, right?
no, no, well, you hope not.
Well, yeah, you hope
We
that's
won't
true.
go into the NBA and some of the crash courses that people have, made millions and spent every an hour, penniless and homeless. So,
Well, dude, yeah, I mean, you hear these stories all the time, and that coming out the NFL as well. I think it's safe to say that all the professional sports Even, and I'll include Premier League soccer and stuff like that as well, where they're paying basically kids insane amounts of money and not giving them any education on how to deal with that, I think is morally reprehensible. I mean, there's quite a lot you can bemoan major league sports for, but that not taking care of their employees is pretty bad because they don't consider them employees. But never mind, we're not going to get into that either. That's when we get a lawyer on, that'd be the way to go.
All I know is before we move on to this, I know there was one of my favorite basketball player was traded because he had, I think it was 6 kids by four girlfriends, and the accountant got so fed up with sending all the alimony checks out there to make it easy for him, they traded him.
So an accountant got somebody traded.
Pretty much. I think he was on his way out as well. It was due for an extension, but yeah, it was the guy. It was the ongoing joke, whether it's actually, there's a little truth to the rumor or what. But yeah, he had to send out 4 checks every month to the players' girlfriends because he had 6 kids.
Gee, well, the trappings of a successful life and all that. All right, there we go. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting sidebar to the Janice story, was the price per autograph thing and just how long these things can go without actually being used, which is it was I found that kind of interesting. So anyway, we'll move along from that. We'll move along from Project 70 as well. We'll round out this week's show with a little talk about our favorite digital tops endeavor, which is Topspun. So I completed the arcade set. I got my lovely reward. Well chuffed with that. And we have another new product out as well.
Yeah, it is Ginter Series 2. And funny enough, I'm not buying.
No, neither am I. Isn't that funny? I thought you might be, but no, I'm back to doing the AL Legends just to tick me over when I have to open packs.
I'm still buying Fire. I'm still buying Gallery. I still like those two, but Ginter's just not doing it for me because it's too much of a set. It's too much of a commitment for cards. I'm kind of like, yeah, they're okay. Maybe I'll trade my way to get enough there. Who knows? But maybe the next set will be something exciting, and I can trade from everyone that has there. But yeah, when you're talking about 100 cards for a base card, that's 400,000 coins you got to spend just for the base set, assuming you get every single one there. And of course, you're going to hit the rares and the super rares there. So,
it is a big old set. 100 commons, 100 uncommons, 100 rare, another 49 rare, another 30 rare, 9 super rare, 21 super rare, 27 super rare, 25 super rare. God, I'm bored already. 21 iconics, 27 iconics, 25 iconic, another 25 iconic, another 16 iconic, another 18 iconic, 25 legendary, 16 legendary, 18 legendary. Bloody hell. Another 15 rare that are box loader pack exclusives. Another 10 super rare that are box loader pack exclusives. Another 15 iconics that are box loader pack exclusives. Another 15 iconics that are box loader. A double rip card. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think if I was spending money on the product, I absolutely would probably really enjoy doing it. But as a free to play player, no, it's too much there. I've been sucked in that before. I skipped a week or something because I didn't like it, and then I just started opening a bunch of packs because I got bored. So who knows? If things don't change by Friday, I could go. All right, we'll decide to do it, but no, I'm kind of just giving it a pass.
So there's 857 cards in the set, and I think so. There's 17 days and 19 hours left, and it's not. I think it started just before the weekend.
Friday night, 6 o'clock when everything drops.
So 3 weeks to try and fill out an 857 card base set that includes like 30 legendary cards. Standard packs are 4,000 coins for 6 cards, which on a cost per card basis isn't the worst out there. However, so you get one common guaranteed for your 4,000 coins. Uncommons are 1 in 3, rare 1 in 10, super rares 1 in 100, and iconics 1 in 750. But this pack does not contain any legendary, box loader pack exclusives, or rip pack exclusive cards. So if you want those, you have to go to.
You have to pay. Yeah, you gotta buy your diamonds.
So, yeah, so you got to. But even how do you get them? It doesn't make. Oh, I don't even know how to get them. So super packs. Super packs have 4 guaranteed commons, 3 guaranteed uncommons, and 2 guaranteed rares. But they also do not contain box loader pack exclusive cards or rip pack exclusive cards, and they're 300 diamonds each. Or you can get 5 super packs for 1,500 diamonds, which isn't a saving. Oh, and they contain the box loader pack. So if you want to get the box loader packs, you need to buy a super pack, a 5-pack of super packs, and they cost 1,500 diamonds. And you can buy 3,000 diamonds. So that would get you 10 of those packs for £12.
Exactly.
Jesus crumbles, man! I need to be I need to be Rain Man to figure this stuff out.
It's a lot of money. Like I said, I mean, they're definitely. This is one of those things where you have to spend money to actually complete the set there. So I guess it's probably a popular set. I have no doubt about it. But but it's different because we're paying. What is it? What you said, 1,500, £12.
So basically £6 for. Yeah. So basically £6 for 5 super packs. So it's almost £1 per super pack to take a shot at those box loader cards.
Yep. And those box loader cards aren't all there. So if you don't buy it within the first half an hour, they're gone. Because the legendaries are the 1-on-1. So as soon as they're gone, they're gone. So there's if you're not active, you're not going to get them. You can still get the legendaries.
I could buy one for the giggles because I've actually got 2,000 diamonds. Yeah, so the box loader pack has 4 cards, 1 guaranteed rare box loader, super rares are 1 in 3, and iconics, iconic rip or double rip cards are 1 in 5. Wow,
you're basically shooting
hefty.
You're basically shooting for an iconic if you wanted to do it, but otherwise you've got to wait till the 6 o'clock drop to find out what it is, and then buy then, so you have a chance of any kind of the special legendary cards.
Jesus, and one of them, so the Series 2 mini stained glass base, which are legendary and exclusive to rip packs, there's 50 in that set. 50.
Yeah, but how many? There's only like one. There'll be one of that 50. So that's what you're going for. Once that one's gone, it's gone.
So, not to immediately make you look like a fanny, but so looking it up, card number 1 in that set is Nolan Ryan. There's already 11 of those out.
Right. Okay.
Javi Baez 22, Otani 18. Ramon Laureano 12, 18 Griffey Juniors. There's a Griffey Junior. You're gonna have to go after it now. See if there's any higher than 22 real quick.
Right, okay, so there's that. So you know what? I'm looking at. Okay, now you got me pulling my whole thing
there's
out.
27 Walker Buehlers out already. That seems to be the highest one.
All right. Well, because some of them just have the exclusive, the 1-of-1. That once it's gone, it's gone. So.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, I'm back to the start again.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So people are buying it. People are buying it. God, the amount of money that must be is frightening.
we need to go chase up the guy who is like apparently the #1 bunt player in the world. And
we need to chase up him. I want to get somebody from Tots Bunt on the show. I'm going to do a dive. I'm going to find somebody within Tops who's responsible for this. And we should reach out and try and get them on the show. I would love to sit and talk bunt with somebody who's behind bunt. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
It must make them so much money.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically taking the physical cards and here you go, we made them into digital entities. Can't be that hard.
Exactly. Yeah, and it can't be that difficult because every physical trading card we hold in our hand at one point is a digital. It's a digital thing. It's a digital print file. These are probably the same files. They're just putting it in the punt. It's incredible. It must be a license to print money. It's not. They don't have to pay gas fees to make it an NFT. They're charging all this money for them. Wow.
There you go. Straight to LinkedIn after this, and we'll find out who's ahead of digital.
Absolutely. I'm all over that. There you go. Well, I'm very excited by Tots Bunt again. I can't believe the amount of those that are out already, and they're so difficult to get. Yeah, maybe people are cashing in their VIP points or something to get them.
Who knows? Like I said, we need to have a big top butt collector here to talk about them, and then we need to actually
Yeah.
get somebody from Top's Butt to talk about that. And
I'd love that.
yeah.
I'd love that. That'd be cool. That'd be a really cool episode to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, looks like Glenn's got a question for you.
Oh yeah.
Away from Bunt. All right, I'll put it up on the board for you.
Haha, when does Series 1 drop, and have I figured out a case break strategy yet? So Series 1 is scheduled to come out on the 16th of February, so a little over 3 weeks. I think it's the 16th now. Yeah, it is, because the 14th is a Monday, because I've got a dentist appointment that day. And it's Valentine's Day. Don't forget Valentine's Day, everybody, February 14th.
And,
so it comes out
from the Super Bowl the day before.
And recover from the Super Bowl, that's right. So yeah, it comes out on the 16th. Have I worked out a case break strategy yet? Not really, other than doing a six box. Right, I'm going to try that again. A jumbo case has 6 boxes inside. So a jumbo case break where there's 6 spots, and each spot gets a rotating division, because that's really easy to do. As for a 15 or a 30 spot one, not yet. Not a team-based one, I haven't. But I'll be honest, I've not put a lot of thought into it. We've had a pretty busy weekend. It was my youngest daughter's birthday over the weekend. We had lots of stuff planned that we had to cancel because the 2 of them picked up COVID. So yeah, we had a very hectic weekend at home, and trying to make our birthday just as special as we could. So yeah, the cards took a little bit of a backseat this weekend, I'll be honest. But no, still working on it, Glenn. So there we go. That is Series 1, 2022 Series 1. And we should very quickly mention, because I only found out tonight, that Topps are doing another rip party again this year. And they're starting to preview the breakers. They forgot to ask me, and what an absolute scandal. Yeah. So they're starting the previews of the breakers that they're using for the rip party. So yeah, if you follow Topps on social media, especially Twitter, because that's where I saw it. Excuse me, that's where I saw it. Then yeah, you can start seeing the companies that Topps are going to be using this year.
Yep. Hopefully next year they invite us. We plan to do live networking for next year.
That's it. Yeah, that'd be good.
You know, and
we could just go. Remember, like for 2020. Yeah, for 2020, they had it at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. The name of it escapes me. I've forgotten what it's called.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Star Alliance Stadium, or whatever they call it these days.
Something like that, yeah. They had the million card rip party where they had all the breakers in a room. Yeah, and they got through 1 million cards. Got through 1 million cards in that break. And then last year they had it like a battle, I suppose, between all the breakers that were involved in the rip party last year. So I imagine they'll probably do something similar this year. I don't think it's a physical event again. I think it's a digital event again this year. We did live stream it last year. It was interesting.
Was that the one we had the former MLB players open the cards up? Went, oh, look, you got another pack of 86 tops.
Yeah, yeah, and it was terrible. They opened like the worst products because everyone was getting really excited. Like, this could be amazing. They could be opening like 1953. They could be opening. Like, we thought they would like really go in. Topps would have dug deep in their vault because it was their 70th anniversary, and no, they basically they had Mariano Rivera opening like 87. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is like the worst thing I've ever seen.
It was like, oh crap, we don't have anything. Let's go to the local card store. What do you got for $10? What can we buy for $10? No, can't buy dollars. No, we need tops. All right, 88, 89 tops. Great, we're in. Fine.
Yeah, it was the biggest anticlimax. Yeah, it was so bad. So yeah, let's see if they have a big online event again. It'd be kind of fun if they do. We'll live stream it again. Excuse me. But yeah, let's hope for some more information on that in the coming days.
The really sad thing was the 16th of February. That was supposed to be spring training. So, unfortunately, this looks like there's going to be spring training at this moment in time. And yeah, we'll see.
No, it doesn't look like it. We're still at time of recording, still locked out.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Well, we shall round that up there, I think, again for this week. So once again, thanks everybody who was watching along tonight, dropping comments in. Glenn, Ricky especially, I hope we answered your questions. It's always great to have people commenting along. It helps spark the conversation. If you're listening and you'd like to be on the show, at some point in the future, then by all means reach out to us on any of our social media channels. We are at Tea and Tops pretty much everywhere. We'd love to have you on. Come and talk about your collection, how you got involved in the hobby, and all that good stuff. I'm struggling.
Yeah,
I had some juice go down the wrong way. No, it's not going. I'm just joking.
Yes.
Oh, geez. But yeah, we would love to have you on. In the meantime, I still need to get caught up on podcast episodes. But all being well, this should be out this Wednesday at 9 p.m. as a podcast. And I'll probably re-record the last 5 minutes where I'm not choking to death. But yeah, until then,
oh man, I feel bad for you there. At least that, yes.
Was that
we'll have the podcast out as
call?
quickly as we can. Here, we've had our hands full there with the unexpected COVID crisis in both our households. So
in both our households, yeah. I think I'm okay now. I've cleared it. It's moved.
We cleared it.
I never thought I'd choke to death on a podcast. There we go. What a way to go. I might get us some rating if nothing else, right? So yeah, until then, thanks again for listening, for watching along this week. We do appreciate it. We'll be out this podcast on Wednesday. We'll be live again next Monday at 9 p.m. and all the usual places. Jason, thanks very much for having a laugh at me while I choked to death.
It made for a good episode. We're able to talk about that, 30 years later. Remember that episode you almost died?
I nearly died. I'm actually crying. I've got tears running down my face. It was horrible. Properly stuck in my throat.
Cheers to everyone that's tuned in. Always appreciate the comments and social media. It's always a lot of fun. If you see me in 2 weeks and I look a little bit lost, it's because Project 7 is over and want nothing to do with my free time. So
we're gonna have to hold an intervention for you or something, aren't we?
I know.
We'll find a new addiction, I promise.
All right, Project 1 with Fanatics. We'll be all over it. So
right on. All right, cool. Thanks again, everybody. Remember, stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Till next Monday, we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.